my god. I feel like I'm doing like a captain's vlog or something. But anyways, it is now like 4:12 and we just finished the meet. The drive up here was like the craziest thing ever. It was so rainy. 45 minutes in the rain, hydroplaning everywhere. People were in serious accidents. I took the highway with less accidents, but the other highway literally had 4 accidents on the way up here. But yeah, dark, rainy, with trees falling everywhere. There was a tornado warning. Where are we? Oklahoma? Yeah, made it up here safe. Now we gotta drive back down. I'm gonna get veggie grill because I kind of miss veggie grill. I'm starving because they didn't have any options for me. That is my update. Yeah, I gotta go actually. I'm hungry. Oh my god, that burger was so good. I think it's because I haven't eaten in like 12 hours. I was planning on taking the burger and bringing it back home and eating it, but honestly, I was just too hungry. Honestly, it's like a solid like 6 out of 10 burger, like 6 out of 10 veggie burger. At the moment, it tasted so good because I was so hungry. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go home and eat more because I'm literally starving. I just ate a little bit and now we're gonna go cookie ingredient shopping. Alright, we got the flour here. You wanna grab one?
You can put any.
Yeah. You wanna get the all-purpose? Of course, keep up there. Morsels? We got mini chips. Chocolate. Okay, right? Crushed candy canes. Boom. Debutay. First to die. So day 1 of the meet recap. Went there at 7 in the morning. Turns out the kid that was supposed to be there, I only have 1 kid in the morning, didn't show up, so I basically just crocheted the whole time. And this is how much I got done. I started like here-ish. I got the first half of the bell sleeve done. I got to my second row of small swirlies down here, and now I'm just finishing up this part. I got my mini swirlies and then the other half of the bell sleeve, and then I'll be done with this sleeve, and then I can use the rest of the yarn to finish up the first sleeve that I got. But yeah, and then now I really have to focus my attention on the granny squares and try to figure out how to make the front panels, and then I would do the ribbing, and then I'm basically done with the cardigan. Very excited to see how it turns out. This is my first, I guess, piece of clothing that I've ever made through crochet. So I'm so happy that I'm not going to be posting tonight, but I feel like I still have to like edit this so that I'm not overwhelmed tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to be prepping the apple pie, and then I'm going to be making cookies on Monday. Lots of baking to be done, but I have a plan. So we'll be fine. And this is going to be the end of day 1. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2. Today is day 15 of Vlogmas, and we are on day 2 of the swim meet. Just made it up to Daly City. It is so dark right now because it is currently 6:44 a.m. We are done with day 2 of the meet. All we have to do is drive back home, 45 minutes. I don't think I'm gonna get anything to eat. I do have to start getting ready all the pie stuff, so let's go back home, make the pie dough, and also make the apple filling, so that tomorrow all I have to do in the morning is bake the pie, assemble the pie and bake the pie, and then it will be ready and cooled by the time the holiday party starts. So yes. So I thought I'd do a little voiceover thing for my apple pie because I made a pie pretty recently in my Thanksgiving vlog, so I thought I'd be more in depth of my pie making process. So this is just part 1 because it's just preparation for tomorrow's baking. But right now I'm going to cut my butter and freeze it so that it can be prepared for when I start making the pie dough. Everything has to be cold when you make pie dough, so that's why I'm freezing the butter. You can also now at this step freeze some water. And now I can move on to my apple filling. I start with peeling all of my Granny Smith apples. I'm really too lazy to get other types of apples, so I just get a bag of Granny Smith. I peeled them and then I cut them into these slices, and then I put them all in a big saucepan because I like to cook it before I put it into the oven. Into my apple slices, I add some juice from a lemon, and I add 1 cup of brown sugar, and I eyeball half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon-ish, a little more, of cinnamon, and just a little bit of cloves. I do not have allspice, but if you have allspice, you can put a little bit of allspice in there too. And then I got a little bit of salt and about 2 tablespoons of flour because I like it ooey gooey inside. And then I give it a little mix before I put it on the heat, and I cook it down until the apples are soft, and I let it cool. Now going back to the pie dough, I measured out 10 ounces of flour into my food processor. Now I'm adding in my frozen butter, and I'm just pulsing it a little bit until there's just chunks of butter throughout the flour, and it kind of looks like sandy, and there's like various sizes of butter chunks inside the flour. Now you can get out your ice water, and tablespoon by tablespoon you are going to add a little bit of water into it, pulse, and repeat until the dough starts kind of falling on itself and it's clumping. That's when it's perfect. I've heard people say it should look like wet sand. I think at a wet sand stage it's still too dry. I like it when it like you're pulsing it and it feels like if you pulse it enough it would actually form a dough. That's like when it's like almost perfect. And then I put it into cling film and I divide it as best as I can. If one of them is bigger than the other one, that is perfectly fine because you want the bigger one to be the bottom of the pie crust and have the smaller one be the top, or whatever decorations you want. But I cling film it, I make sure I press out all the cracks, and then I put it in the fridge. And now that my pie filling is basically cooled, I am going to cover that and also put it in the fridge. And here's a little impromptu unboxing. I got the silk pad for macarons, and I'm going to be making macarons in a few days. So yeah, get it tested out. I finished my pie crust. I got the pie filling in the fridge. And I'm basically done until tomorrow morning. I'm going to assemble and bake it so that it can cool on time for when we go to dinner. And tomorrow I got like nothing planned, so I'd probably be waking up a little late. We still have to do a little bit of shopping because I still need chocolate chips. I'm gonna go get chocolate chips for my cookies. I'm gonna get maple syrup, and I am also going to get turbinado sugar. So that is my grocery list for tomorrow. Here's the update on my cardigan. So I actually had swimmers show up today. Unlike yesterday when I basically had nothing to do all morning. I was just crocheting the whole time. But I got my sleeve done. This is a completed sleeve. This is the bell part of the sleeve. It smells like chlorine, kind of. Whoops. But this is the sleeve. It's nice and loose and flowy. Like, this is like barely going around my arm with my sweater on. But yeah, this is how the sleeve looks like. It looks so nice. And then I'm gonna add the ribbing on here. It's going to be yellow like Howl's. And then I'm going to finish my well, technically this is my first sleeve, but I ran out of yarn. But now I can finally cut this one and use up the rest of this yarn. And I also started on all the granny squares. So I had these granny squares, but they're not very good. So I've been remaking all of them. So this is the new granny square. This is the old granny square. So I'm remaking it so that it actually lays flat. And I've already basically finished the blue ones. So I'm just finishing up the pinkish ones. And then I probably can start trying to assemble the jacket. But yeah, that is my update on my cardigan. Bro, these strings are going to be the death of me. I should start cutting them. So I'm gonna end this video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed day 14 and day 15 of Vlogmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 16. Bye!